Pasture and Plenty putting in plenty of research to make this night come together, calling in a top scholar and chef from Fort Atkinson's Curtis and Cake, all to make the recipes as real and authentic as possible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm sure during those hundreds of hours, there's been a lot of, maybe not blood, but lots of sweat and tears, you know, just trying to get all these many people together. But I think at the end of the day, the ultimate bottom line is that everyone wanted to participate. Everybody wants to contribute, and that payoff, that return just is invaluable for this community. So we've got to have it all. Cool.
I mean, even the delivery, like, you know, to deliver food boxes to 100 families and the logistics that goes into creating a delivery route, making sure that everybody gets served. I mean, and they're doing this on a weekly basis with our youth events, the youth cooking class, and now they're going to do it at an even bigger mass for Juneteenth. It's
amazing. And having that virtual night of cooking so that families can just kind of follow along with everything, like you know, I don't even know what you call it, like a Blue Apron kind of come to life. But there's probably a Pasture and Plenty, because you guys, we'll talk to you in a second about all that, because that's your bread and butter, right? I mean, you guys do all of that. But yeah, that's what this is. Everyone can really learn something new this week. And since we're all kind of helm bodies these days, we need
Christy McKenzie, Christy. McKenzie is MC, capital Kenzie, and I am the owner of Pasture and Plenty.
Excellent. And how long have you guys been here now? A few years, right?
So we opened, we're actually just coming up on our 3rd anniversary. We popped up sorry, just a second.
No worries.
We popped up a Wednesday night chicken dinner stand at the Concerts on the Square 3 years ago in June.
Amazing. And this event is probably something that truly kindles your heart. You probably got the call and just wanted to see how you could help. Talk to me a little bit about, you know, how that kind of all transpired.
Yeah. Well, we were so grateful to get the phone call from Pernisha that there were 2 opportunities to work in community and help community get together around food this summer. We are, you know, at our hearts, a business that creates community and connects community over food. And so in light of the pandemic, of course, we've been reimagining ways to do that. And when Pernisha reached out with this program, it felt like just the right fit. We have been given the opportunity to put together a meaningful cooking class program on Thursday nights for community youth and the Black Excellence Program, and the Juneteenth Project is an incredible extension of that. Helps us root into really getting to know the food culture here in Madison, really thinking about how we get together around celebration foods, how do we source from local farms, make sure that those ingredients get onto local tables, and then help family get together and celebrate something in a whole new way this year with the context of that. It's really been a special thing to be able to be a part of.
I think you mentioned too just a little while ago, this is like your first big virtual cook-a-thon, and I don't know what we would call it.
Yeah, so this is our first virtual cooking class on a big scale. We had a small community dinner that went virtual right away in March when the pandemic got in the way of our normal Sunday night community dinners. But the opportunity to have a cooking class here and share it with 150 homes for the school and for 100 homes for the Juneteenth Project is, you know, much more than we could normally fit around our demonstration island here, and it's really allowing us to think about sharing what we do in a much broader way and in a way that will be meaningful as we continue to work through the course of the pandemic in the next year and a half.
Yeah, because you are essentially bringing, just as you mentioned, that demonstration cooking center into each person's home, so you can touch so many more lives, teach them so many new exciting things, and talk. I know you're not the chef for the night, but you'll probably be around and watching and everything. Did you collaborate? Did you talk with the chef a little bit about what palette you wanted and what you wanted to really do for a night like this, especially?
Juneteenth isn't a celebration that I grew up celebrating, and I'm excited to have had the opportunity to dig in and learn more about it. We brought in Chef Monica O'Connell, who is a scholar and the owner of Curtis and Cake, a local food business. She has put together a celebration meal that honors shared experience of the foods that are commonly served at the table and how that might look here in kind of modern kitchens, and in spaces where it may not, a big community meal brought down to a family of 4 scale represents its own challenges. So along with that, I've had the opportunity to really educate myself and learn more about a food culture and a food history that is right here, and that somehow I was missing, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to really explore it.
I was just going to ask you how inspired you feel knowing more about the Juneteenth celebration in this week that's going on right here in Dane County, but really could be reflected all across the country.
Yeah, I shared Quenisha's sentiment that more than ever we need to really understand our shared history, and the opportunity to use Juneteenth as a lens to think about community resilience, to think about the hard work and the struggle that has gotten us to today, the continued work that each of us has to dig into to make change and to sustain change in our communities. And food gives us a really gentle and a delicious opportunity to get together and really think about it.
Absolutely. So, I know you're not going to be the chef for the night, but talk to me a little bit. What are we going to be preparing? What's going to be whipped up?
Yeah, so Monica's come up with a beautiful menu. We are going to have snap peas with lemon and olive oil. We'll have sheet pan coconut chicken. We'll have red rice. There's a deep significance of red foods and red beverage in the celebration of Juneteenth. We'll talk more about that in the cooking class, so show up and learn more. For dessert, we're going to have strawberry shortcakes. Shortcakes made at home with grain, with flour that comes from Metal Organics, with strawberries that come from local farms. And so as much as we can, we're sourcing from as close as we can, sharing the stories not only of the food traditions, but also of the people who are making the food.
You had such a great deep tease. Now I'm dying to know what bread symbolizes and all of that. So people will want to definitely sign up, sign on and learn a little bit more, because even if you don't have the box kit to follow along with, which had to have been a labor of love too for you guys to come up with those. Is it 150 or 100? I'm so sorry, I'm not.
So we have 100. Yeah, we have 100 community meals that we'll be packing and delivering from the shop here. Those will include the kitchen chemistry kits if you're signed up for that class, and they'll be delivered on Friday for the meal celebration on Saturday. So you'll have everything a day in advance. We're also publishing the recipe, the menu, and all of the ingredients online so that you can shop ahead if you're not in the delivery area, or if you are interested in showing up for class but don't need a meal kit delivered to your home. And so that allows us to serve and to share the meal with a much wider audience than the 100 households that will be directly receiving the meal boxes.
Gotcha. And walk me through this again. So we have a virtual cooking seminar right tomorrow. There's nothing tomorrow. Do we have anything tomorrow then, or is it just all on Saturday?
So tomorrow there's not anything. Thursday is the college age students with Black and Educated. Friday is the kind of family resilience time,
Yes.
and then Saturday is
cooking day.
cooking, family dinner,
Perfect.
family celebrations.
Got it. Oh, awesome. And I love how you're posting everything in advance to get everybody all jazzed up. And so that, as you mentioned, people all across, I'm thinking for our audience all across Wisconsin, that way would it be all right if we take that and we can send a link to that so that people can, get in.
Absolutely.
And so that way they can all do this with their family, because what a great way to bond with family and learn more about the culture. And I can't wait for the dessert. The dessert sounds...
And be sure you sign up too, so you can get a box.
I'm excited about Saturday night. I know, this sounds great for sure.
Strawberry season in Wisconsin may be short this year. We're hearing varied things from our farms. The frost this last week impacted many farms' ability to harvest strawberries early. But we did find a couple of farms to be able to source enough strawberries to send out for the season. I know Dane County Farmers Market on Wednesday night, you can pre-order and pick up, but if you're looking for local berries, plan ahead.
This is good to know, so we need to get those in advance. So that's maybe what we'll mention for my stand-up, and maybe if you've got any strawberries out today, we can have you guys look over some of those.
And tell them about the virtual tour for the farms that you set up for the children, so they could see where their food was coming from virtually.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so along with the Black Excellence cooking class that we're doing here in June. We're sending out virtual field trips, which include videos that the farms have posted on Instagram, videos that Wisconsin Foodie has posted with their exploration of the foodways here in Wisconsin. We're sharing videos that we're making with the farmers and with the food makers. We have a tortilla press that went live this morning and was shared with the students, but really working not only to connect the students with the meal and with the basic skills of cooking in the kitchen, but also with a deeper understanding of where their food comes from and how rich the food culture is here in Wisconsin.
Bringing it all together. Oh, I love all of these answers. I've learned so much from you guys. Anything you guys think that I forgot to ask that you think would be kind of important to share? I'm just dying to know why red is such an important color. So I guess I have to stay tuned for Saturday.
Stay tuned for that.
I would say that registrations are open till the end of the day today.
Perfect.
And we
A full official title with the organization of support member on it.
absolutely.
Go whenever you'd like.
Pernisha Clifton, Prenicia Clifton, Clifton, and I am on the Kuji Kajalea board for Juneteenth.
Excellent. And how long have you been on this board now?
I actually got recruited about 4 months ago. So I've been attending Juneteenth, and Miss Annie had reached out to me and said, hey, would you be interested in helping us expand as we look to pass this tradition on to the next generation? So I came on board.
So you came on board, and it's been, I don't want to put words in your mouth, I would imagine an adventure in planning it all? How would you describe it?
Well, our very first meeting, we reached out to the national board and tried to figure out how everyone was doing this. And the major push was for everyone to go virtual to keep people safe during this time. And so we automatically got creative and said, what are some of the virtual events that we can do that will truly be engaging in the community? And our board came up with several fun events, and we just made a whole week out of it. So it went very well, but we did have to readjust once we realized that we needed to do these things virtually.
Oh my goodness, yes, you have to make all these modifications with the coronavirus. This was one of those creative ways. Talk to me a little bit about this partnership and how excited you are about getting to show off some ethnic cuisine and getting to highlight some of Juneteenth and celebrate.
So one of the biggest memories that I have for Juneteenth and any kind of holiday is the tradition of a family dinner. And we still wanted to be able to carry on that tradition, even in a virtual space. So what I did was I looked for organizations that actually delivered all the ingredients while doing cooking demonstrations. And we found Christy over at Pasture and Plenty. And I ran this idea by her, and we were already doing some other small cooking classes through the MMSD Black Excellence Project. And so she jumped on board to help us find a chef to create a dinner that was about our family, our culture, and our community. So now we're having a giant family dinner, and we're cooking and learning together.
I love this. What does your heart say about having an event like this in the middle of the week to bring everyone together? You know, it's to me, it's wholesome and it's a great opportunity. What's your heart say about it?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity to foster communication within families. You know, usually during this time we're in such a big rut, we're running from place to place, that we rarely get a chance to sit down with our family and talk about our days and our lives. And it's not just sitting down at the meal, but it's learning together that expands the conversation. So that's really what excites me about this project. I've seen so many parents say, I didn't even know my children were interested in cooking until doing these classes, and how can I do more of this, and how can I start fostering more of my children's interests? A lot of kids have been getting on these Zoom meetings and doing all this school stuff, and they just weren't motivated. But now they're standing at the door waiting for their boxes to be delivered, and they can't wait for the next cooking class. So to be able to bring this cooking class to the whole family and get everyone involved has been quite the exciting feat.
Absolutely. And with the Juneteenth events, you have musical performances, you've got cooking, you've really kind of been very creative about what you've been able to offer with all of the events. Talk to me a little bit about that leg of everything.
So we wanted to look at the different generations that we were serving in Juneteenth and recognize that their experience and their needs were not monolithic. And so we started off with the children, the youth at a younger age, and for them we did performance workshops. Basically they're doing hip hop, they're doing R&B, they're doing dance, they're doing all these things that they want to do that are engaging to them. So that was Monday and Tuesday of this week. Then we're going to work with the older students starting on Thursday as they get ready for Black and Educated. So we have a virtual college fair, we have an open mic night, and we also have, what was the other one? Open mic, spoken word. and college fair.
Line dancing.
Line
Oh,
dance.
That's
Holy
Friday.
gosh.
That's Friday.
That's
yes.
cool.
So then Friday, I mean, we have so much going on Friday. We have Club Quarantine. We have line dancing. We have different presentations within the community with resilience and what it is to be resilient during this time. So that's from 1 to 3 o'clock. We also have a special guest speaker. Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes will be joining us and making a presentation during our resilience time. So we're very excited that he's taking time out of his busy schedule to talk to the community during this time of Juneteenth. And then Saturday, we're just full of activities. So we start the morning off at 11 a.m. with Kitchen Chemists. So the kids are getting these chemistry kits delivered with their food service. So they can do science experiments in the morning with their parents and ask questions, and it's all in a live demonstration. We're doing a youth recognition ceremony. So all the kids that have performed on the 15th and 16th are now going to be able to perform for the public the work that they've learned. And then we're also going to recognize all the writers in the Umoja Youth Writing Project. So all of these young writers will now be published for the first time, and they're going to get recognized at this event. And then at 1 o'clock, of course, we'll do presentations on community engagement and resilience. 2 o'clock, we'll do the same with 2 different categories in resilience. And then we'll get into the closing ceremony at 5 o'clock, which also includes a recognition of everybody on the board. And then we will have the family dinner at 6 o'clock. And so from 6 o'clock on, we'll be cooking together, celebrating together, and then we'll kind of close it all out with closing remarks and just really recognize the strength in our family and our community. And what I want to say is that it's so important that everyone celebrate Juneteenth. This is a time to recognize that Black history is American history, and that we're all part of this process of making this a greater place for all of us. And part of that is taking away the invisibility cloak and making everyone feel included. So I encourage all people to join us for this celebration.
And I love that it's more than just a day. It is a whole week that you have carved out, and you've gotten, I keep using that word creative, but it really is. I mean, talk to me a little bit. I mean, putting your signature touch, partnering up with local businesses. This sounds like it's bigger than any of the years past, right? It's like the blowout year. You guys are going big. You're staying home, but go big or go home. Well, we're going home to do a lot of it, but yes, we're doing this bigger than ever. It sounds like
we're definitely doing it big for a virtual space. Kuji Kajalea has been doing Juneteenth in Madison for 30 years. And so usually our vendors and our community partners are there and they're passing out, flyers or introducing people to their products. But this year we needed them physically involved in the event to make the event happen. And I will say that our community partners have really stepped up, especially with Pasture and Plenty. It was like, how can we make it happen? How can we get you a chef? How can we get you the ingredients? All of those things. And then we had MATC come in and say, how can we create your virtual college fair for you? And then we had Derek Johnson come in and say, let me facilitate open mic night with Rob Dees. So everybody just kind of came together and said, we can make this happen.
That just kindles my heart that the whole community, it takes the community to help it thrive. When we look at participation numbers, we're probably talking thousands of people all across probably Wisconsin at this point. We're farther reaching than Dane and Sauk County. I mean, people everywhere can come in.
Absolutely. With this virtual space, we've actually been able to engage people all around the U.S. So we didn't limit ourselves to just Dane County. And so for some of the events where you have to have supplies delivered, local to Dane County is how that would happen. But we've also provided a PDF for people that if they're away from us, they can still go grocery shop and get the ingredients and still cook virtually with us online. So we really did try to make this event an all-inclusive event for anybody that was interested.
Truly amazing. Yeah, you guys have really gone so far with this. And it's one of those efforts that, as you mentioned, this is the time where we need to all come together. We need to find that unity. And what better way to find unity than over a good meal with family and friends and cherishing all of our talents, I think, in the community. I think that's what hits, what's resonating with me, that, yeah, you found the space to really do. When it comes to labor of love, fair to say hundreds of hours that you've put into this? How would you describe that?
I've been telling people that I'm working 3 full-time jobs right now. So it's definitely been a lot of time and investment, but it's definitely been worth the return. I will say the looks on children's faces when they're getting food boxes, the way that the community is just so excited to have something created for them and by them. There's just been a lot of buzz about engagement with the community and helping to include all of our allies and include the people that really believe that we are a better people when we're not monolithic.
That's the heart and soul. That's what Juneteenth's all about. Anything you think I've forgotten to ask?